Welcome to Pat Bear Gaming's gaming podcast, Eat.Game.Sleep. I'm your host, Scott.
I'm Kay.
And I'm Andrew.
Yes, he is. All right, gentlemen, let's get into the news.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
All up in it.
It's going to be rough.
We've been dating her for a long time.
About to take this to the next level.
Yep.
No.
Okay, so, well, we're married now, so it's fine. So the PS4, in their exclusive show Powers, which is a superhero show for those of you who do not know, depicted in-game video chat on on PlayStation TV. So, which is a big deal because it's not there now. But a lot of people are saying it is alluding to that it will be there soon. And then also the vice president of a video messaging app named, I think it's Uvu?
Yeah.
Yeah. Announced at CES 2015 that he is trying to put his service on the PS4 around April or June. So people are thinking that that's what it was like alluding to or foreshadowing. So that's exciting. A lot of people are excited about that. And then Nintendo, this is actually pretty big news. Nintendo reveals their plan to develop mobile games. They made they made a deal with a mobile game publisher. I think it's DNA, but it's pronounced D, like it's spelled DE and then capital NA. So DNA. Which they made a deal with them so they can use their IPs and release games under them or with them or whatever. And they said they're not interested in bringing old games to mobile devices.
Okay.
They're interested in making new games for.
Why would they want to make money? I mean, that's
it's idiotic. I mean that's how Nintendo rolls, though.
Plot twist: mobile games, they're just turning like the mobile as we know it, and they're making them make 3DS games.
That would be hilarious. Like
they're like, it's mobile.
Something in like the.
I don't know what you guys thought. We've always been mobile.
I just think it'd be funny if they made a pay-to-win Mario Brothers. Like you have to buy gems to get the next level.
Well, I was about to be like, you want that fire flower? Give me $5. Yeah, so that's pretty funny. Well, that's pretty interesting. It could be big. It could be horrible. You never know with Nintendo. They either blow
really
up big.
don't.
No, it's serious. Nintendo is the ultimate in hit or miss companies. Like, it's either like literally it's a household name, everyone has one, like your grandma has one, or it's like not even the diehard Nintendo fans have them. Like,
Yeah.
So
and if they're ever just like striking out again and again and again, they just release a Pokemon game and make all their money back. Every time.
Also, though, it's exciting because, which Nintendo had already been showing this, but it shows it even more about them opening up, letting other studios or people use their stuff, and like more diversifying than just being like we have our games on the Nintendo system,
Right?
Or like only Nintendo makes Nintendo games, you know. So it's exciting.
Well, I mean, if you have zero third-party support, you kind of have to like make your own like second party.
Yeah.
Like where it's like use our IP, and it's like you see we have third-party support, but it's like no, not really.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully this means Activision will get their hands on the Mario franchise, and we all know we want that. I thought that was funnier than it was.
I thought you were being serious for a second. And
Nope.
I was like, I don't know if I want that.
Pretty sure I don't want that.
Yeah. Now that the more I think about it, I hate that idea.
Yes, I do too.
Have you guys seen Powers? Have you watched
No.
it?
I keep forgetting about it.
No, I'm not gonna lie. I get really wary when anything announces like original shows. It has to win me over. Like, I don't watch it right away ever. When they announce original shows like Netflix, I wasn't on that bandwagon at first. I'm never on a bandwagon of original shows until like someone I trust or like everyone's like, it's great, and then I check it out and I'm like, wow, they are pretty good. Now I love Netflix originals, but
I've seen the first 3 episodes, and the pilot is not very good. And I was like, oh man, this was like a huge letdown. And I watched the next 2, and they're much, much better. But the pilot, I was like, I don't know. It's just okay. There's this one scene basically where the main guy who lost his powers, he's like down, and this chick's walking away from him, and I forget what she says at first, like something like something like you're a dog now, blah blah blah. She says your wings have been clipped or something along those lines. And then she walks away, and you're like, okay, that's a pretty cool scene. She's like, your wings are clipped, and then she walks away. And then she turns back, and she's like, because you can't fly now because you lost your powers. And I was like, oh God,
really?
I was like,
and it's not supposed to be funny.
No. And I was like, come on. Let the silence speak for itself. Just walk out the door. End of scene.
That's exactly how I felt. Like the first thing I ever wrote for like a movie or anything. That's exactly how I felt when like I saw the line changes. I was like, I thought I explained that with like silence, or I thought I explained that the lines show that like you don't have to. The character doesn't literally have to introduce themselves like I am this. Like, you know.
Yeah.
No, I get that. That sucks.
It's still not amazing. Like the next 2 episodes aren't like True Detective or something, but it's if you like cop procedurals and you like superpower shows, then you'll probably dig it. It's good quality. It's not great, but it's good.
Is it like episodic based, like a cop show?
Yeah, I mean, there's overall arcs, but I think it's more procedural. I think is what they're trying to go for.
That's gross.
You don't like that?
Interesting.
I'm not a huge episode. It takes a real special kind of show to get me into an episodic format. Like I can totally do comedies. That's totally fine. But like if it's a drama or like superpowers, I need like a really long gambit for me to get on the train with.
Well, I think the idea is like there's some villains that like carry over for the whole series, but there's like smaller villains that are like episode based or like couple episode based.
Yeah, I mean that works. Like one of my favorite shows of all time is Fringe, and that's very episodic at times. But there's always like just enough like little hints to be like, oh, there's more coming, and so it keeps me
like
going.
Doctor Who.
Sure.
Yeah.
No, I actually have just started watching Doctor Who. It's
Really?
better than yeah.
Like what? Which Doctor?
I started from the reboot, not like Doctor 1. No.
So like 2005.
Yeah, or whatever. The first Doctor in the reboot, he's bad. I don't like him.
What is it? Matt Smith? Is that the one? Or
I can't remember, to be honest.
the super tall? Oh, I guess they're all tall, skinny guys.
Yeah. No, like he
looks like a total wanker. Like
yeah, no, exactly. At least that's what I think. But he okay. So the Doctor is always a little sassy and like kind of like sarcastic, you know, and like witty. But when he did it, it just always came off like a douchebag. And I'm like, this guy's a dick, like every time. And so he only played for 1 season though, so I don't know. He definitely was not my favorite by any means. But then the guy who took over right afterwards. No, it's Christopher Eccleston. Eccleston. Anyways, yeah, he was not my favorite. He sucks. I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for it, but
I'm making no statements.
No, like the other ones, like the new one.
You're just saying whether you like him or not. I mean,
well, yeah, like the
they
second
can
one
come
though
at you, but
is when he's like sarcastic and stuff, you're like, you cheeky, you're so cheeky, you know, or like, oh, that's just him. But the other guy was just like, man, you're a jerk.
See,
You're such
that's
a jerk.
that's something I could never like get into that big, where characters that are like super snarky. I think that's why I hate Iron Man so much.
What?
Because yeah, I do.
Well, that's what I love about Iron Man.
No, he's so snarky, and I'm just like, you're not funny. You're just a dick. Like I don't know. I don't like him at all.
Do you like Spider-Man? I'm not talking like Tobey Maguire's.
No, I like Spider-Man more because
like he's a sassy fella.
He's sassy, but it's like lighthearted teen sass, where like Tony Stark is just like everything he says is like he looks down on you, and like now that I'm up here, I just want to be like, you think you're better than me?
I think with Tony Stark, it's just that he's an ignorant narcissist, and he's just like, well, of course I'm better than you because I have all this money and I'm super smart and I'm pretty, and it's like, well, I mean, but you could still value other people, Tony.
He's a prick with a terrible goatee. That's how I think of it.
Well, his facial hair status is touch and go. That's for sure.
But that's just me. Like everyone loves Iron Man except for me. I'm just the one.
Yeah, no, I do love Iron Man.
I just love Robert Downey Jr.
But he was my favorite, like way before the movies.
Spider-Man's still my favorite. Don't even get me started.
What was I gonna say? No, but that is the best comparison, honestly, for like the season 1 Doctor Who and season 2 is like, or 8th and 9th or whatever it is that the first one comes off as like a dick, and then the second one is almost like the like teenage like lighthearted, witty like banter like things or whatever, you know, and you're like much better.
Like Spider-Man never thinks he's better than me. I mean, he might think it, but he doesn't say it.
Exactly.
Spider-Man has a self-esteem complex.
Yeah,
I
like Spider-Man. I hope the new Spider-Man's Miles Morales though, and not Peter Parker.
Man.
Oh, who's Miles Morales? Which incarnation is he from?
He's I mean, I don't know the author. I'm not.
No, not the author. Like, which comic strain?
He's the African American one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know much about him actually, but I'm not good with the.
He's the current one, I think.
Yeah, I'm not good at the comics. I got into the Fox Spider-Man TV show as a kid, like the cartoon, and that's what changed my life.
I mean, the only reason I want Miles Morales is because if they do another Peter Parker, that means within the past 15 years we've had 3 Peter Parkers.
That's true.
And I'm just like, okay, it's like I don't want to see the beginning story again.
The thing is, though, like
unless it's someone different.
I don't think they'll do Miles Morales because they've said the next Spider-Man movie will not be an Origins movie. And they'd have to explain it because everybody knows Peter Parker. No, not only comic book people know Miles Morales.
That's true.
Have you guys heard about Spider-Gwen?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No.
She's awesome. It's like, okay, so it's Gwen Stacy, but it's like, long story short, how they introduced her, because she's now having her own comics, how they introduced her was through Spider-Man, and like he went to an alternate dimension, and Gwen Stacy's the one that got like bit or whatever, and Gwen Stacy and Peter Parker's the one that ended up dying. So like when they met and they realized he was each other, they were like, there's even this like really like sweet like romantic, if you will, scene in like the comic where it's like basically like my Gwen is dead, and it's like my Peter is dead, and they're like, you're Peter, you're Gwen, and they're like, oh god. And obviously I did not do the scene justice, but it is,
you know what?
It's pretty good. And Spider-Gwen is pretty good. I like her sass better.
You know what's funny about comics is that they always have like an element of like different dimensions, at least DC and Marvel. And they always care so much about theirs. But I'm like, okay, worst comes to worst, we could just take the important people and hop over to this dimension.
Right? No,
restart civilization. Like, it's fine. Worst comes to worst. And it's the same Earth. You know, it's just maybe this time, I don't know, like, we've never had a male president or something. I mean, worst comes to worst, it's fine.
Yeah,
We can
exactly.
we can make it work.
It was Georgina Washington who founded our
Yeah.
country.
Yep.
Good old Georgina.
Yes. Wilhelmina Henry Harrison.
In all
She
seriousness,
still had the middle name Henry.
yeah. Henry's that's the difference between the universes.
Is
Henry's a girl name.
Yeah.
But Henry Stacy. But what was I gonna
Anyway,
say?
remember when we used to talk about video games?
Oh, I'm glad you got me off of that because I was about to continue with comics. Anyways, back to the news.
I mean, all geek-related stuff.
Yeah. Goat Simulator.
Eat.Game.Sleep.
Goat Simulator, that great game. The studio made an entry, submitted it made up in Dota 2's workshop that if the community votes for it, they will put it in the game. Well, Goat Simulator put in a bid, if you will, an entry to get added into the game of a Goat Simulator goat for Dota 2. So, in this MOBA, you could play as the Goat Simulator to go. And a jetpack, so it can travel like the other characters and stuff.
Yep.
And it's pretty ridiculous in a great way.
It is ridiculous in many ways.
Including great. No, it's pretty hilarious. I don't know if it'll ever get greenlit, but it's funny.
I'll take your word for it.
I feel like some people
No, they have they have a video that would test it out. They showed it in it. One of the things it does is anything it holds with its tongue, and it's funny, especially in comparison to the world, because it'll be this big ogre thing, and then it's goat. And yeah, I find it funny. You guys don't have to.
No, I kind of do. I just love how enthusiastic you are about it.
Yep.
I don't even know why. I don't even play Dota. I just like that it exists.
Yeah.
But anyways, speaking of Valve and Steam and stuff, they got an F for customer service by the Better Business Bureau.
Really?
Yeah, they got an F.
Oh, crap.
Which does not stand for fantastic. It stands for failure. And so
I went to school.
Valve obviously released statements that were the important thing is that we don't feel like our customer service is where it needs to be. Well, no, they said where it needs to be. So we are working to improve it. And they were basically but we don't feel like we deserve an F. And so...
I don't know what do people complain about on Steam, though?
There's a list of complaints. Let me see real quick. They're broken games, refused refunds.
Oh, that one's bad.
And there was one other big complaint, but I can't find it.
They don't give you refunds for anything.
Yeah, and so stuff like that. Well, it depends on what it is. If it's an early access game, I'm it said early access. So, you know what I mean?
Someone could release a game that has the annoying Newman guy in Jurassic Park when he's nah. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And then you'd be I want a refund, and then they'd be no.
Exactly.
I totally thought you were going with Newman from Seinfeld, and I was give it a video game. What?
Hello, the most character in that whole show. Of course, he deserves a video game.
Newman was the star.
They should release a fighting game called Jerry versus Newman, and you play as different Seinfeld characters in Street Fighter-esque combat.
What's the deal with these punches?
When Jerry gets hit, he goes, "Come on, come on."
Kramer would be the crazy guy doing all the flips and stuff that you just
but then
Eddie Gordo from Tekken.
Yeah, but then his special would his ultimate attack, if you will, would be racist rant.
Yeah.
And it would just
finishing move.
And it would make your enemy just awkwardly walk out of the stage. Oh. Oh man.
That's so funny.
But long story short about the Steam thing is they said we have to do better, and everyone was
no.
No, they should do better. Why was everyone refusing?
Oh, that's funny. And then, last bit of news, and Kay, this will excite you, if you haven't heard about it already.
I'll be the judge of that.
Lego is releasing Jurassic World, which is their Lego game. It's Lego Jurassic World.
Like,
So it's a Jurassic Park Lego game, and it's licensed, yeah.
That's the movie game? Okay.
Yeah.
Might be the first Lego game I actually finish.
Yeah, that's why I was guessing.
Depends if it's good or not. Which most of them are good.
I haven't heard any bad Lego game. I haven't heard of any bad Lego game.
Because they found a formula that works, and they just keep that business rolling.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that it's the same gameplay.
Yeah, well, they make it feel fresh because of the unique changes they make depending on the characters or like the IP they're using or whatever. So that's what makes it fresh. It's not the actual gameplay itself that makes it feel fresh, which is smart.
Of course, right? Yeah, but the gameplay's fun.
Yeah, exactly. And you can always just like bump your friend off the edge or something, and that's always fun. Not in real life. Don't do that in real life. He'll die.
What if they're really bothering you? I mean,
man, you are just being really annoying.
Die.
Yeah, exactly.
The perfect justification for murder.
Too scary. If the fall is long enough that they'll die, don't push anyone off the edge because you always run the risk of them like grabbing your shirt. Too risky. I think about these things. You know, like if you're doing it, you have to go like they're looking out over and like you hit them in the back.
Yeah, and hope they don't have a prehensile tail because they're some weird like devolved human.
Jacob's Ladder style.
Oh, I was about.
What?
Is it devolved human or is that evolved? Like, did they get
actually
the tail?
That would be evolved. I would love a prehensile tail.
Yeah. Well,
have you ever seen Jacob's Ladder? She has like this crazy tail when they're.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Really?
Yeah, I thought you were making a reference to the piercing, and I was really afraid.
Oh no, that's a great movie.
There's a piercing.
Guys.
You know, called Jacob's Ladder.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, remember, viewers, this is 18 and up.
Actually, I didn't set that this time, so.
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna Google search it.
I don't know if Evange will let you look at it.
You'd be surprised. Well, like through Google, I mean.
Yeah. True.
Man, while you're looking at that, I'm going to tell you about Jacob's Ladder because it's a fantastic movie.
Okay, let's talk about that, not the piercing.
Starring Tim Robbins, okay?
Already
He's a Vietnam vet, and we know that he's done some hard drugs as well at Vietnam and afterwards.
There it is! He saw it!
Oh, why would you do that? Think of an industrial bar in your penis. Anyways, go on.
On air. Oh, man.
Well, basically, the whole movie he's having either what's like the worst, most horrific hallucinations of all time. Hallucinations of all time.
Someone is doing it with acid.
Or he's really seeing like all these freaky demons and things everywhere. And one of the like most iconic scenes from it is he's in this club and like there's like the strobe lights are going and like the music's crazy and he's dancing with this hot girl and it's like it seems like sexy or whatever and now all of a sudden you see this like tail and you're like what, but you like just got
I've seen this scene.
Yeah, you just get like a glimmer of it, and then like the longer the scene goes, you see this like huge like reptile tail, and it looks like it's coming from the woman, and it's like going up his leg and around her, and then you're just like, is this coming from the woman? Is the woman being attacked? Am I being attacked? And he's just like tripping balls. It's like one of the trippiest, coolest horror movies. It's awesome. Don't take acid beforehand because you're gonna feel like you're on acid just watching it.
I wasn't planning on taking acid at all, so I will go with your advice.
Just letting you know.
Thanks.
So, I should take acid?
If you're watching Magic School Bus.
What'd you say?
Oh, hilarious. Anyways, speaking of drugs, which create controversy.
There you go. That's pretty good.
That's a good segue.
Thank
Pretty
you.
good.
Let's talk about video game controversy. Video games have been, actually, for drug use, have been criticized for like depicting drug use, or criticized for being like racist or sexist, or too violent, or whatever. What are your guys' thoughts on video games? Like, do you find them racist? Do you find them sexist? Do you not find them either of those? Do you think they're just the worst things on earth? I mean, I'd be surprised. But
Video games, I hate them.
they're just the worst.
I'm just going into the belly of the beast to take it out from the inside, type thing.
Yeah.
It's better to fix it from the inside.
Pulling a Ron Swanson,
I'm
basically.
pulling an Islam.
Yeah.
The ends justify the means.
Oh, goodness. Speaking of controversy.
ISIS.
ISIS. Make it all better. Not like the group makes it better, like you saying that makes it
I don't know if ISIS is controversial. I think they're just bad.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
But if
I don't know. I don't know many people that are pro ISIS besides ISIS.
Yeah,
And
no
those,
one,
like-
no one is. Not even Al Qaeda. Other terrorist groups are like, these guys suck. Like, these guys are crazy.
Hey, there were those like girls from Europe that went to join.
Yeah, to join. Only ISIS
join.
likes ISIS.
ISIS.
They weren't ISIS all the time, and they thought ISIS might be nicest, so let's join ISIS.
That was pretty good.
ISIS might be
That was
nicest.
great. I'm just saying, if that becomes their slogan, they probably got it from you. Maybe you could sue them.
No, I've seen that from other places.
Oh, have you?
Quick
Now they're
sidebar.
gonna sue us.
Quick sidebar. Did you guys see that SNL digital short about ISIS?
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Oh
No.
man.
Okay, so like they were making fun of this car commercial. The car commercial goes like, he's like dropping his daughter off at like college or something, and like so it's like really sweet, and it's just like, now be careful, and she's like, Dad, you know I will. It's like, okay, I'm trusting you, and like he sends her off, and then like someone welcomes her to the campus, and like they look at each other and wave, and then it's like, for all those important moments, like Chevy or whatever, you know. And so they parody it by doing basically the same exact thing, but then when he sends them off, it's a truck full of ISIS people, and she goes to join ISIS, and he's like, and like he looks at the ISIS guy, and the ISIS guy looks back at him, and they're like, and then they're like, "That's America," and like drive off.
That's
And
so funny.
yeah, it was pretty hilarious. They definitely got some controversy.
Oh, we got a ton of flack.
Yeah, but anyways, do you find video games racist, sexist, whatever? Anybody?
Well, about drug use, I think there should be more drug use in games, and I'm not saying that as like a joke. I'm saying that as like, to properly if you're trying to represent what's going on in real life, like if your game takes any place in actual Earth, I think it's naive to just like not show drug use,
right.
because it's so rampant. Unless you're saying like, well, that's happening behind the scenes and it doesn't have anything to do with the story.
Yeah, but that's what I would think. I mean, it's not like you make like a Splinter Cell game, and you make sure that Sam Fisher tokes up on a doob in one of the cutscenes like that.
No, I mean that wouldn't make
No,
sense.
it would
But
be
I'm
more like Grand Theft Auto has never given you the option to regularly do drugs.
Yeah, in 5 you can totally hit your bong all the time.
That is way different, but no, like I mean like hardcore drugs.
Oh, like heroin. Okay.
Yeah, like you can't like go out and buy them and then like use them, but you can go out and buy and use a prostitute. Like,
Hey,
Yeah.
the best dealers don't use their own product. I think they're just.
You're not really a dealer though.
I know.
yeah, you're
You're a good crime lord.
You're a good crime lord. You're not even the dealer. No, that's
You're really not even a crime lord. You're kind of just like
an
the
independent-
hitman.
a freelancer.
What's
Yeah.
your dream,
crime
though?
lord?
Your dream is to run whatever lord of crime. That didn't make sense.
Your dream is to become the god of crime.
I am the crime god.
Before every heist, we have to pray to the crime god.
Sacrifice lifers. Just
That's hilarious. No, you'd have to sacrifice like whatever your spoils were from crime. So like usually money. Then it'd be like just give him a hundy, like for the crime god. Like
burning one up for the crime god.
exactly.
Well, and to that point, like I don't want to just throw more drugs in. I want more like realistic depictions of drug use, because most drug use in games is like you do this drug and then some like trippy music plays and then you're fine afterwards. Like Far Cry 4, a lot of people like the drug scenes, and you have these whole set of missions with these guys named Reggie and Yogi. And have you played those, Andrew?
Yeah, I played a chunk of them. Yeah.
Yeah. And every time they inject you with some new drug that they're working on, and then you wake up in the middle of nowhere and like super psychedelic music is playing and like the cloud is all and like the skies are all rainbowed, and you just kind of like are in a haze, and then you work your way through it, and then like you're fine. But I think it'd be cool to have a game that really like tackles drug use and like in a real way. I don't know. It'd be difficult to do. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's something that I don't think games have really attempted. Yeah, and if they do show drug use, it's usually in like a humorous way. Like, well, I more so than drug, I should expand that to like substance abuse.
Yeah.
In general. Yeah, like Grand Theft Auto, you can go get drunk with your cousin and then stumble out the bar and try to drive drunk or whatever. But, you know, like it lasts 30 seconds or something like that. And then, you know, I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think like just in an across-the-board kind of way when it comes to people being like, oh, Grand Theft Auto's too violent, or there's too much sex in this game, or like something like that. Like the same people that are finding these things controversial, or the people that want to like ban books at your children's library, or don't like this movie because it depicts it, even if it's in a realistic way.
Right.
And so like there are controversial things, but only to the people that like don't want to read about it or see it on TV either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a little more extreme with my views on those type of things because I'm really for artistic
expression.
Yeah, expression. And I kind of always have taken the view of, you know, you don't have to watch it if
right.
You know, I understand that you need to protect children that are susceptible, but that's why you have to be Yeah, that's why you have to be 17 to get into an R-rated movie. That's why. Is it 18 to buy a mature game or 17? Is it 17?
I think you're switching them.
I'm switching them.
I mean, is this
18 for R-rated movie, 17 for mature games? I think.
Oh, okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Either way, that's why those are in place. And you know, if you think those games are appropriate for your children, you can buy it for them. You can take your kid into an R-rated movie. So I understand protecting kids, but you know, even if things are blatantly offensive, I kind of tend to agree with the artist because you know, if things are blatantly offensive, then the sales should speak for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
That's true, but on the other side, like I'm on your side. Like I'm very anti-censorship.
Yeah.
But to play devil's advocate here, like some people would make the point of like, well, yeah, but you know, maybe someone doesn't know that it's this, and they get it, and then they see this, and then it's like causes some like deep-seated thing that they've repressed to come up, and then they're a serial killer, which I think is a ridiculous argument. You know what I mean? But I do understand the point of like
great devil's advocate.
But let me get to the
just nailing that devil's advocate.
What about if this happened, even though it's stupid?
But like there is the thing I think of like exposure to certain things, because like for me, like when you said the thing about I would like to see more drug use and stuff because it's more rampant. I mean, there's plenty of people that are just not aware of drug use, except like what they see in the news, and it's not a part of their everyday life. It's not even a part of like the area where they're at. You know what I mean? Because like, there's drug problems here where I live, but it's not nearly as bad in a more metropolitan area. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Right.
And different things like that. And so it's like the artists should be able to do whatever they do, but like representationally, like it's legitimate to be like, why are you making it like this is everything? Because pop culture and media tries to create like a norm, but that's not normal. You know what I mean? And then because it becomes normal, people think it could be normal for them. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not for games glorifying drugs. I want to see more like realistic takes on yeah.
But you
depictions.
still support the artist that glorifies drugs in a game.
Yeah,
I think they have a right to do that.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that he wants it.
Yeah.
What he does want is a more not glorification. God dang it!
Just put drugs on a pedestal.
What he wants is a more honest representation. Like he wants, like basically, he would want to see the guy that has his life destroyed by them.
Yeah, I would love to play a lead character who's struggled with substance abuse.
And it'd be a real issue in the game, not
Right.
not just a talking point where they're like, "Want a drink?" and he's like, "I'm on the wagon." And that's all that happens.
One of the few games I ever played that tackled these kinds of issues was a puzzle game named Apo Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't think Apo Yo was a great game. I thought it was okay. But every puzzle basically was a metaphor, and the entire game kind of tells this story of his father, who he loved very much, but was an alcoholic, and they never outright said that he was abusive, but it was implied that he was abusive towards him and his mother, and there was definitely a scene, I don't know, I mean, if it happened exactly this way in real life, where he's driving with his son drunk in the backseat of a car and he crashes. And that whole game's cool because you have this, you're a little boy, and the whole game basically you have to take this giant monster, this huge orange monster, and get him to the end of the game. And you have to, it's all these puzzles and stuff. But whenever the monster eats these little frogs, he goes like berserk, and that obviously was his alcoholism. And it didn't outright, depict substance abuse, but it was clearly, this video game was like a love child of the kid, and I'm sure his father was dead. I think they even said that at the end of the game, that his father's dead now. And I think that was kind of his way of like, he never reconciled with his father, even though he loved him, but it was hard to get past the abuse.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a cool game. I wish like the puzzle elements were as good as the message. Like it was reviewed pretty well by critics, but I think that was more because of the message it was sending versus like the actual gameplay, because the actual gameplay was kind of boring in my opinion. But I don't know. But yeah, I'd like to see more games like that.
This whole topic to me reminds me of, I mean, like something that's a trend. I think in media as a whole, like I'm thinking of like television shows like Breaking Bad or House of Cards, where like when you watch Breaking Bad, you hate Skyler, like you don't like Skyler, but when you think about the story as a whole, like Skyler didn't do anything wrong really. I mean, she did some stuff that was wrong.
She is like the most selfish. Don't even get me started. Oh.
But like, because the thing is, the show makes you take Walter's side. Like, he's who you want to succeed. You want him to do well in his little meth business, and you get where he's coming from. But like, from an arbitrary outside point of view, Walter White is a horribly evil man. Like, he's a terrible person. He doesn't start that way, but he sure becomes that. Or like House of Cards, like Frank Underwood, you're like pulling for Frank, but he does terribly evil things to get where he goes, but like you're on his side. And so like
I don't think Frank was ever good though.
No, he wasn't. But
well, define good. I mean,
he could have been good.
He played by the rules at first because that's what he thought would get him there.
Person on the inside, no.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
My point there is like with games that put you in the seat of someone who's a bad person. Like, you know, I recently beat Grand Theft Auto 5 and I really enjoyed it. But you're playing as a criminal and you're on the criminal side. And if you were the victim of those crimes, it'd feel pretty bad. Like, for every pedestrian I killed in that game, there was a family who didn't have their son, daughter, wife, or husband come home to them. You know what I mean?
For every empty house that you went in and raided their chests and everything.
Yeah.
They come home. No.
Oh, crap, the lone wanderer from Fallout's been in here. And
Wanderer. No.
But it's like, I think there is a point where, in a sense, that crime becomes very, very, it does become glorified, and because you're on their side and you're not even thinking about it, and you become susceptible to that. And I think there is a legitimate point on the other side saying that life many times does imitate art, and so becoming sympathetic to that causes you to be more accepting of it. You know, think of like good causes, like civil rights movements and stuff like that. They will use media to get, to make it more acceptable because, like the civil rights movement of the '60s, racism did not stop when the legislation changed at all. You know, we're 40, 50 years past that, and yes, the racism has like been dealt with in a lot of ways, but there's still pockets of horrible racism all across the country, and it's gotten better, but it's gotten better because media-wise, it's become more acceptable. And there's still tons of racism in media and tons of if I was involved in acting for a long time and learning about the audition process and stuff, like that's one of the most racist environments. It's like, no, you're too white or you're too black or you're too Asian or whatever to be able to get into this show or be considered for a certain part or something. And presentation-wise, they deal with these issues. They make stories about racism and sexism and different things like that, to where progressing as a society, our generation is a lot more accepting of a lot of those things than, say, even our parents' generation. And so, like with video games, we have to be aware of the fact that what we put in, especially with video games being so much more story-driven and even effective story-wise, because with the graphics that we have, you can create a lot more empathy in terms of like character performance and whatnot. Like, I think it's good to think about, like, as an artist, to think about, okay, what am I presenting? Is this something that I want people to sympathize with in their actual lives or not? Because we can say all day long that it's just a game, but I could say that all day long about it's just a movie or it's just a book or it's just a TV series, but it's going to affect me somehow,
Well, I think there's a difference between developers that are trying to make money and developers that are trying to make art. And that's not saying that one is better than the other.
No, there is a difference, but the effect, I think, is the same.
Because there's absolutely nothing wrong with a developer trying to make money. I hope more developers do make money, because I know it's difficult to. And so there's nothing wrong. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean,
it's not.
But yeah, there are developers that I think are really motivated to do things that are different with their games, and not they obviously want the game to be successful and sell well, but I don't think that's the main goal. I will point out that even though I am like really pushing for like these more damaged characters, because I'm sick of playing like
goody two-shoes?
Yeah, goody two-shoe like Superman people. I saw this study the other day where almost I think it was like 80% of players, when they have a chance to do good or bad, always choose good.
Oh yeah. Well, one of the biggest I think you can even view this on Facebook, because the most viewed things on Facebook about a game that has choices are the evil choices. But the reason it's the most viewed is because less people choose those choices and feel guilty choosing those, so they just go watch them instead of playing them.
I totally get that. I always go into a game like Fable or even like Fallout, because I'm going back through Fallout 3 again, and like I'm like, okay, I'll do my good playthrough, and then I'll go back and do my evil playthrough. And then I can never finish my evil playthroughs. I just can't, because I'm like, why would I blow up Megaton? This is a terrible decision. These people are going to die.
See, that's hilarious, because I do the same thing, except I can never finish my good playthrough.
The good playthroughs are so boring most of the time.
Yeah,
for me.
Perfectly good. And then not only that, half the time it's just so much more work. Like it's like kill this room full of people that are right here with this button press, just one boop, done. Or go to an area across the map, pick this thing up, come back so you can save them so they can get out of the room, and then you press the same button. And I'm like,
Well, one of the more interesting things I saw, okay, so that first playthrough was 80%. So then you would think like the second playthrough, the majority of people would do evil playthroughs. But it was like 60% were good on the second playthrough. So people do not want to be evil.
I have a terrible hero complex. It's like, I'm like, no, but I can't. But my justification is as you might think. I usually think I'm going to get a better reward if I do the good thing, because more people in the game are going to like my character. But that's really my own personal issues. Is the people
not necessarily.
You'd be surprised because
I know. There's so many times I do the right thing, and it's like, is a smile the best reward? No, it's not. So I kill them and reload my save, just so I get the satisfaction of killing them without the bad karma points.
I'm just telling you, there's like a common BioWare thing where you'll find someone trapped in a cage, and you have a chance to like kill them or like just leave them, and always kill them.
Yeah.
You have that in Knights of the Old Republic when you have the guy in the locker, and then you have it in. There's a couple times in Dragon Age where there's people in cages, and you can do stuff. And one of them is, it's in the original. It was in Origins, but the expansion Awakening, and there's like a guy who's like all alone in the dungeon. He's just a prisoner. He's not going to get out. Like. I was like, I'm helping you by killing you, and then he had some awesome loot. So
there you go, dude.
They almost always do. I'm just like,
almost
why are you
always.
in that cage?
Yeah.
I just finished the Mothership Zeta expansion for Fallout, where you like get on this spaceship and fight aliens and whatnot, and you rescue these like cryogenically frozen people, and one of them is a samurai, and he's got sweet armor and a sword. And I killed him, and I didn't even get bad karma, but I couldn't live with my save. I had to go back and let him live. And it was mostly because the armor wasn't as good as the power armor that I had. But I was like,
it looks awesome.
If I knew that I was going to see myself in that armor more, I might have lived with it, but I just couldn't. But I have the worst hero combo.
I play the game like literally like 3/4 of the way like third person.
Oh, see, I can't because the combat feels weird.
Oh no! As soon as I enter combat, I vat. So like you can be in third person, and then when you vat, it brings you to first.
Yeah.
And then if that doesn't kill him, then I switch to first. But my biggest problem with Fallout games, as far as succeeding, is I forget that I can fire without VATs. So like I'm like, yes, I'll be like vat, and then there will always be like a 3-second delay that I'm like, oh crap, what do I do? What? Oh wait, pow. Yeah.
That's funny. Well, see, I usually don't even do like pure evil playthroughs because I kind of go in like Frank Underwood style, like what's best for me, like me personally.
Yeah. If my first playthrough is never pure evil.
He's mostly evil.
Yeah, mostly evil. For 2 reasons. 1, I am all about my party, so you cannot be full evil and be nice to your party. And 2, there's some times that I genuinely want the good thing because of different circumstances. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like if you're making alliances or something, like even evil dictators put on the charm. Like they're actually very charming usually. That's why people follow them.
Yeah. And so, yeah, they're not usually completely evil. And if I have a love interest, chances are she'll want a good thing eventually, and I'll be like, fine.
uh,
Do a lot for my love interest.
I'll try to go through games like that and do the mixed bag option, but then like there's always rewards for being like extra good or extra evil, or like I get to a point where it's like, okay, I would normally pick what would be considered evil here, but I don't think it's evil or something. But then I think about like, okay, how would this like actually affect my character? Like, is this logically good? And most of the time I come to the conclusion that it's logically good to do it. Now I think my favorite decision ever that I've made was in Mass Effect 1, where you get to the Rachni Queen and you choose, like, because honestly it made total sense to kill that thing in my mind. Like, it made complete sense because she's like this thing is like hurt lots of people and she's an animal. How can you trust this psychic Rachni mama? But I was like, no, I can use her and she will be like my. I was really hoping for more of an interaction with the Rachni over the course of the series, but there just wasn't. But I totally let her live, not because like I'm trying to choose a good option, but I was like, I'm gonna have a huge psychic bug horde as like my ally. This sounds like a great idea.
I killed her my first playthrough, found out she came back my second playthrough, and I saved her.
Yeah.
I let the architect live in Origins. And like tons of people killed the architect.
Oh really? Oh, bold move, dude.
And he wait, which one's the architect? I'm trying to remember.
He's like, I guess not technically the main villain in Awakening. Did you play Awakening? The expansion.
Yeah.
He's the Darkspawn, the sentient Darkspawn.
Oh yeah.
And basically is the guy that caused the blight.
Yeah.
Because he was trying to bring however he got his sentience to bring that to his people. But I was always like, listen, you caused the blight. That was bad. But I like just couldn't kill him because it's like, you're just trying to do what's good for Darkspawn. Like, you're trying to like enlighten your like, I don't know. I was just like, I couldn't. Like, I can't fault you for that.
You and I are completely different wavelengths. Well, not completely similar, but we ended in this different conclusion. I was like, can't fault you for that, bro. I do the same thing. Like, I totally get you. But you are a Darkspawn.
Yeah.
Like, you're committed to that Grey Warden life.
Well, exactly. And I was like, Darkspawn have almost killed us before without sentience. Them getting sentience is scary.
Yeah.
Like, I guess have diplomacy, Scott.
I guess there's no guarantee that even if they get sentience that they'd be like peaceful, but
yeah, no, that's
I had this in my mind like, yeah, I just had this in my mind like, oh, they'll just be like another race. And
no, races aren't even peaceful.
That's true.
Like, Victory has sentience.
I don't know. I also thought he could be a powerful ally, but he hasn't showed up so far.
No. If an ally's too risky, I don't have him. I'm like, you're too risky of an ally. You gotta kill you.
That Scott, your logic played out means you're a hyper racist and you want to kill everyone but yourself.
Whatever. That's not even true.
There's a chance that you'll be warlike.
A hyper racist, meaning I am racist against everyone but myself, is not a racist. It's just a hatred, a burning hatred for everything. Completely different.
Well, I didn't
just
want
like
to make an actual
misanthropy.
racist and say you want to kill everyone but your Pacific Island culture, but still.
No. Yes, I'm Pacific Islander.
I love that option on like standardized tests. As a kid, I was like, I'm not a Pacific Islander, but I really want to mark this one because I feel like it'd be so cool to be from an island in the Pacific.
Anything that gives me a chance to put other, I always put other. Or that I do not wish to respond.
That's hilarious. I had a friend that went to school. She's like super far, like 164th or something, like Asian. Like, it's way back there. And she went to school, and they were like, all right, so like she was filling out the form, and then she was like, so I just put Caucasian, right? And then they're like, do you have any like descendants that isn't Caucasian? And she's like, oh well, yeah, like my great grandpa was Asian. They're like, put Asian. and it was like a small like podunk country school, so I'm sure they wanted to have like show diversity. And so she was like, "Are you serious right now?" And she's like, "But it's like it's nowhere. You can't even like see it. Like it's like great, like you know." And they're like, "Put Asian." Shut up, other. They're like Asian, and like and they basically like forced her hand to put Asian. And she was like, "Okay."
They're gonna find that one white guy named Andre and be like, "Put African American."
Yeah. Exactly. That's so funny. Or just like a really neutral name. It would just be like,
I knew a white Andre, and I was like, I'm gonna call you Andy.
oh boy. We're gonna call you Andy. Oh man.
Andre.
That's hilarious.
He's European though.
You know what name has transcended like most cultures as far as like melting pot in the United States, like race, ethnicity? Josh.
Mike. Oh.
Like Josh is not like stereotypically any like one race. It's like Josh could be an Asian man. Josh could be a black man. Josh could be a white man. Josh
I was gonna say
Hispanic. Michael too.
I was gonna say Beowulf, but I guess that's
Beowulf.
Not on the same wavelength.
No, that's typically a Pacific Islander name.
Oh man.
Hi, my name's Beowulf. Oh, from the islands.
Oh man.
That's so funny. Oh man. Well, I think that's it. I think this actually turned more into a discussion of like art and like expression of art and stuff. But
we'll do it next time.
Well, that's because video game isn't art.
It is. We'll talk. Don't worry, guys. We'll talk about racism next time.
We just talked about racism for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, kinda. Not really. Well, sexism. We'll talk about sexism. We'll talk about it all. We'll talk about all the things that make you steamy.
Talk about video games
that make you steamy.
Steamy. I was gonna say red, like hot, mad stuff, bro.
Oh, okay. You ended with mad, but red hot also does not. Steamy and red hot.
Red hot.
We're gonna get you turned.
Yeah, we are. Anyways, turned down for what? Nothing. But I'm Scott.
I'm Kay.
And I'm Andrew.
We'll see you next time.